Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, I'm your host, Alexander Rodriguez, here with On the Rocks radio show, where celebrities and cocktails mix tonight. We are getting things ready for summer, not my beach bod though, by heating things up with adult film stars and stand-up comedians Wesley Woods and Silvia Sage on the house, with my twin sister, my guest co-host, celebrity fitness expert, best-selling author, and TV personality and ballerina? Yes, Craig Ramsay is here, so raise a glass and let the drinks begin. Yeah.
Thank you for being
Boulevard.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, coming at you live, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Lord have mercy, it is going to be a bumpy night. You never know what's going to happen on the Rocks radio show live. Buttons and bows and pantyhose. This is On the Rocks, the place where we're too glam to give a damn. If I was in the Harry Potter world, and Kurt, listen up, because I know you love your Harry Potter.
Okay.
Ooh, double entendre already. I would be in the House of Blizzard. Why Blizzard, you say? Because it's a house of bitchy wizards. Blizzards. Oh,
Alexander.
No? Okay. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you. I said this one on Facebook. Every day I wanted to do something funny to keep my humor up. Nobody liked it. Nobody got it. I'm like, bitchy wizards,
kids.
Blizzards.
Because
Need kids.
you do because
to clean my house, maybe.
bad gay dad jokes.
Oh,
That's
bad-
what this is it.
I'll ask Andy Cohen for those.
Oh.
A big thank you to Stoli for supplying us our vodka today. Stoli. Thanks, Stoli.
Hey.
Expect drunk tweets from us later. And if you're not drinking, thank you to our sober listeners for tuning in. We love you. Thank you for holding our hair back and driving us home. Drunk texting is literally the only sport I'm good at, for which I have won awards. If you consider community service an award. First place!
Naughty.
I think some of us might know about that.
I know, I'm pulling up a close second
Yeah,
page.
it's like, where do I have to volunteer this week? Okay. Us and Lindsay Lohan. Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, United Broadcasting Network, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, Satchel, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify.
Wow.
Of course, we are Facebook Live right now, on Trending Now in San Diego, True FM in Ohio, and on the West Coast on GED Magazine, Gay Entertainment Directory, the largest LGBT print and online magazine on the West Coast, and nationally on Queer 40. Check out my movie news, now with video, on queer40.com. This week I talk about Disney Little Mermaid casting. Guess who got cast as Ariel?
Who?
Glee's Lea Michele.
No, are you kidding me?
Now, before everybody freaks out, this is announced casting for the Hollywood Bowl concert version only, not the film.
I don't care. I'm still out of here.
I know. I'm like, what? It's like, I hope she gets off her shift at Arby's.
I have history with her. We'll go
Oh, you do?
Oh,
well,
wow.
let's hear
She
it now.
lived with me for a month in LA. I was in Fiddler with her. She hit on me day one of Fiddler on the Roof rehearsal. She was a wee child. She was like 14 years old.
Was she playing one of the daughters?
One of the daughters, yeah. Well, the two youngest daughters with
God.
Molly Ephraim, who
Yeah.
went
So
on
when
to big stuff as well.
you let a 14-year-old live with you then?
No,
He's a gay man. What's going to happen?
I did that for a couple of years, and when we came to LA, when she first came here and she was auditioning for Glee, I made sure she was well taken care of.
okay.
I told her mom I would take
good fairy
I would watch out for
godfather.
her. Yeah,
Good
exactly.
fairy godfather.
And then nothing, zilch. Didn't hear a word from her, and then like 2 years later, I see her at Fitness Factory, and I'm with a client that goes, "Oh my God, there's Lea Michele. Oh my God, don't look now." And I said, "Don't look." I said, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And right away she goes like this, and she goes, "Hi, Craig." I said, "Don't hi, Craig me." And I went over to the treadmill and just read her. Hollywood has affected her in such a negative way. She's disowned Broadway. I doubt that she'll ever get an opportunity to go back because of how she's acted.
Wow.
Good luck, Lea Michele.
And you cannot burn your bridges on Broadway, and I'm sure in like the adult
No.
film industry, it's a small circle. Do not burn your
That
bridges.
always extends into Hollywood,
Everything
into reality
else.
TV, into all these things. And I reached out to her during my show, Thintervention, because one of the girls was auditioning for the Glee project at that time, and she didn't get back to me at all, pretended like she didn't even know me. And then John Groff was so sweet and said, "Absolutely, let me do whatever you can do." So, Lea Michele, good luck.
But here's what happens
Cheers.
to every major show. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Stolly.
Yeah.
But here's what happens to every major show, such as The Walking Dead, any one of the big shows that's like really famous for a while, all those younger stars that are new, their heads get super big, and then the show loses its steam, or
Right.
they get canceled, God forbid.
I mean, she is a big star and she's talented. I'll give her all of that. She's just not a very nice, kind person that remembers her roots. That's
She's
it.
the Katherine
is
Heigl
not
of like
cute.
music.
Kind of Robin Givens-ish too, like attitude for years, and then
That's a
then-
blast from the past. I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, docs.
Do you guys even know that Robin Givens? Oh no!
Oh my God.
Well, you'll look it up later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now.
Anyway,
Right now.
so but Lindsay Lohan has been begging to be cast in Disney's live-action remake as Ariel. Number one,
I don't feel like she's
no.
begging for anything.
She is. She had her little beach club show, and now she thinks she's back on it. But like Disney would never cast Lindsay Lohan.
I think they
No,
should.
she's like the DUI queen.
Yes, she
But they
is. She's
It would be
should.
like
They
casting
should.
me
They
as a
should.
fucking Ariel.
I would love
like-
that. Be like, part of your world, yes,
Right.
madam. I would love that. So, but Lindsay Lohan responded to this casting notice with some shade, and she just typed, huh? With question mark, question mark, question mark.
Oh.
I did
Under
see
the
that.
sea,
all it takes.
under the shade. Boo boo. That's a frightened. I did not.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wish her well. I don't want it to come off as bitter because
No,
I'm
you're a
truly
nice
not.
person to
I just
everybody.
invest in her because I cared about her, not because I thought she'd become famous
Right.
or ultra famous or any of these things. And a lot of the people that I love near dear to my heart and on Broadway, she has dissed. So
Don't forget your roots.
Yep.
Your roots are showing.
yeah, yeah, they are.
This show is brought to you in media partnership with Here TV. Here TV reaches millions of viewers each month. Has even produced Academy Award-winning films. In addition to receiving 3 Daytime Emmy Award nominations and their first Emmy for their new documentary about the Advocate, On the Rocks now appears on Amazon Prime, Facebook Watch, HereTV.com, and Here TV app for free. Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Basically everywhere.
Yeah.
We have some other syndication news coming soon, but that'll come next week. Our website has been updated. It looks beautiful. You don't need to go anywhere else but visit our syndicates, but go to ontherocksradioshow.com. We always have all of our episodes, video and audio on there. Mama Rose is in the chat room on ubngo.com and Facebook. Ask her your question. She'll answer it. If it's a burning question, she's going to text me, and I will answer it here on the air. And she's done her research, by the way.
Yeah.
She has done a lot of research on
Oh,
you guys.
He's
Lord.
scared.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mama. I'm
I was
sorry.
like, maybe you'll learn a few things.
Yeah.
Also, keep her busy. She's next to a bottle of vodka. I don't need her drunk setting me up on Match.com again.
Yeah.
Last time she set me
Again.
up with a manager of Baskin Robbins.
Oh.
Double Scoop was just a stage name.
Hilarious.
All of us at first are like, oh, that doesn't sound
I
that
was like,
bad.
that's not that bad.
And
I
I was
missed
like,
that.
we love ice cream.
Yeah. We do love our ice cream.
I did date somebody that worked at Subway, and after hours, we were behind the counter.
2 girls, 1 cup.
What?
Who said that?
Y'all were making a
Oh my
sandwich?
God, Craig Ramsay.
Of course I know that.
Oh my God.
Who doesn't know that?
Kurt's like,
cup
what?
of ice cream.
Yeah. Speaking of Kurt, hello to our engineer. Hello, Kurt. How excited are you for Avengers Endgame?
I already have my tickets.
I
so
know.
I'm
You got
good
them
to-
like day one, right?
Yeah, I got them at like 6 in the morning.
Oh my God. The only thing you'll wake up at 6 in the morning for.
Exactly,
I'm like,
yeah.
Kurt, we have to be at call time. No.
No,
That's professional, man.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Because he's like, you love everything sci-fi, fantasy.
yeah.
Like Comic Cons and things.
I've never been to Comic Con.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to go, but
It's a good time.
yeah.
Well, I've been to his house.
wanna
His
go.
house is literally wall to wall memorabilia and like things. Like you change the TV with the Harry Potter wand. Like,
Oh
that
my
is
God.
so
it's
cool.
amazing.
yeah. Or at least I was trying to.
Do you have a
Yeah.
girlfriend?
I think
I was
yeah, you
like-
might have had one or two.
Oh. I was really convinced. I was like, that's so cool.
No, they do have a remote.
Yeah, they
though.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But everything is there. He's actually married.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
So your wife's fine with that? Like, really?
Well, I've kind of dragged her into it.
Keep her around, dude.
Yeah,
Keep her around.
They go to Disneyland like twice a day. They go to Universal
Twice
Studios
a
like
day.
every day.
Oh,
like
that's
literally.
sweet.
Yeah, well,
They
I
go
have
a lot.
season passes to Disney World.
Oh my
or
God, I
Disneyland.
love that.
But, like,
magical.
every day.
How
It's like-
magical. Why not?
I don't want to grow up either. That
They have the
sounds so
food and
good.
wine
don't
festival
have
right
to.
now. It's
See,
awesome.
That's the only reason I go. I hate going to Disneyland because the kids.
Yes.
The kids are in it. I would pay $400 if they were to say from 9 p.m.
Oh, I would
to
go-
4 in the morning. It's 21 over. I would pay $400 for that
They
experience.
do
Absolutely.
have booze now there. at
Yes.
Disneyland.
But
and
it's like
Stills.
dignified booze. You know, my booze
Yeah.
is like fill it up, and they're like,
Oh, yeah. But I mean, those environments are kind of adult-like, of sorts.
kind of. But the new Star Wars land is going to have an actual cantina with hard liquor.
Oh.
And I'll be, yeah.
And you researched this already.
Oh, yes, I did. I'm like, pass. Anyway, Kurt, do you have a pun for us?
Of course, I always
You're
have
so
fun.
punny. Go ahead.
So, maintaining a healthy diet is a piece of cake.
Oh my god.
No, Kurt.
More dad jokes.
Oh my God.
Straight dad jokes,
Do you
gay
know,
dad
our
jokes.
listeners, Who's
your daddy?
Who is your daddy? Brandon's your who's the daddy? Brandon or
Everyone
you?
thinks that Brandon is the daddy
Oh,
because he's actually only 6 years older than me, but I think that we look a little more wider spread than that. Don't you think?
Oh.
People tell us that. I mean, come on, you're not going to get in trouble.
I don't know.
He's not watching.
Now I gotta beat him up.
Yeah, he's working right now. He probably look at it later, but everyone thinks it's him. I think we share that role. I think it's good to be
Aw.
versatile, don't you?
Yeah.
I look at
Totally.
Wesley.
Like I would totally be in the middle,
Okay, fair enough.
and
You'll
go
be
back
our
and forth.
teenager, yeah.
absolutely.
I thought Brandon was the daddy
Teenager.
until we went to like a drag show together, and I was like, "Girl." Like he threw his pantyhose on stage, and
Oh,
then it was
yeah,
all
yeah,
over
yeah, for sure.
from there. Well, thank you for that, Kurt. That was very informative and enlightening. Oh, God. Straight people. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air, Facebook, On The Rocks Radio Show. Send me an email. Book me for a funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will be there. Info at ontherocksradioshow.com. We are going to be getting this show on the road, but you want to join me on the road. Here are my upcoming appearances. This Friday, I'm guest auctioneer for Laguna Beach Pride's fundraiser at Nirvana Grill in Laguna Beach, starting at 6 p.m. for a one-time special event, silent auction and raffle fundraiser. They're giving away hotel stays at Surf and Sand Resort Laguna Beach, the Hilton in Huntington Beach, 3-course dinner and wine for 6 guests for smooth jazz Sunday brunch at Spaghettini, which is pretty good. White party tickets and blah, blah, blah. So go be there Friday. I'll be there from
nice.
6 to 10. I get alcohol because I'm going to help out my homeland of Laguna Beach. So come every hour. I'll be more and more interested.
You're like,
Come towards the
Yeah,
end.
I'm like,
I'll be getting
free tickets
alcohol,
for everybody. Yes. LagunaBeachPride.org. And we'll talk about OC because you guys were in OC.
We
oh,
were,
God,
yeah.
Like San Juan Capistrano, which is like, oh. Like they have like a mission there.
Oh, yeah.
I was a cantor there for 13 years at Mission San Juan.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
It was such an interesting moment.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it. Thursday, April 27th, I returned to Santa Ana College for their second annual Dragucation, a fun evening of drag history, performances, Q&As. Tickets are only $10. We sold out last year, and it's like a 600-seat theater. So buy your tickets early. Go to sac.edu/communication for more info. Also, Saturday, May 18th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at West Hollywood Park in West Hollywood. I will serve as MC for Vanderpump Dogs World Dog Day with all the Bravo celebrities you could shake a stick at. Get it? Shake a stick and it's dogs.
Wesley needs to be there with you.
Yeah, I'm sure. Jax would be like, maybe.
Those community service hours.
Yes,
That's what.
that's right. I will be on stage and I'll be playing MC with the cast of Vanderpump Rules and Lisa Vanderpump for their dog show, which they are filming for Bravo, by the way. It's the third day that they're filming, so they're going to throw all the drama at it.
Is Kyle going to be there? Good luck. Oh my.
Yes. Also that night, I'm returning to Long Beach Pride's hottest party, Overboard. This year I'm hosting with RuPaul's Raja. Go to overboardlbc.com to get your early bird tickets. Last but not least, join me for Gay Wine Weekend, 3-day celebration of food, wine, and the ambiance of wine country for our LGBTQ LMNOP community and friends. Winemaker dinners, winery tours, drag queen brunch that I am emceeing, and wine auction. People from all over the nation come to this, and it's hundreds of wonderful people. July 18th through the 21st. So I'm telling you in advance time to make your travel plans.
So there.
And we need to do Stretch a Reason to Wine.
So there, yes.
GayWineWeekend.com. Okay, let's get the show on the road.
Fun.
Let me formally reintroduce, no stranger to On the Rocks, Mr. Craig Ramsay. His approach to wellness is one of the most unique and effective ways of promoting health, movement, and self-care. Colin Farrell called him a genius.
Yes, he did.
I'm sure he had other words too.
He called me a naughty, naughty girl. That's what he did.
For Colin Farrell and his new haircut, I would be a naughty, naughty girl
I
too.
haven't seen his new haircut, but I would
It's
do
in
anything.
Dumbo, which is the only reason to go see
He could
that.
shave it and he'd still be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
that's
just
true.
it, yeah.
Also, Sharon Osbourne said, he's brilliant. That's what she said of you. That was my Sharon Osbourne.
Thank you.
Okay. Craig is listed as one of the People magazine's top fitness experts. Craig's first foray into television was on Bravo's The Intervention, where he co-hosted with Jackie Warner. Then again as a standout gay couple on Bravo's international hit show, Newlyweds, the first year, which they ran away with the whole show. He has also appeared on Shows of Sunset, regularly trains a number of the Bravo celebrities, currently hosts He's Fit on the Hey Queen network. He's also had a successful career on Broadway as one of the most well-known triple threats and has appeared on sitcoms such as Two Broke Girls, soap operas, plays, and feature films. Last year, he appeared on the East Coast in Mamma Mia, returning to the show, playing one of the dads. In fact, we have a picture of you in costume. There it is. There it is. Mamma Mia.
20 years after
my
doing
God.
the original pre-Broadway.
Which is crazy. So you were one of the original ensemble members,
So
and then you
fun.
show it to
Youngest
Broadway.
member.
That's crazy.
Yeah, second youngest member in the,
Oh,
in the original
damn.
show.
That's
In fact, some of the
crazy.
movements that you created as the ensemble are seen in every single production, whether it's Vegas or across the world.
If it was nowadays, it would be a Hamilton situation where we definitely get a percentage,
Yeah.
you know, which is a shame. But the experience alone
Yeah.
gave me everything. It brought me into
Yeah.
the U.S. It got me eventually, you know, my husband and
Wait,
everything
brought
I
you
know.
into the U.S. Where are you from?
Canada.
Oh,
You can tell
okay.
by his manners, number one, and
I
what's
didn't
it about?
catch it.
Yeah.
And those like mountain man
Yeah, I
arms.
didn't catch it.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry I
I
didn't
mean,
say
I
that
get
before.
it. I get it now.
Yeah,
I
he's
see
totally
it, yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Very.
But most recently, and we're going to talk about the story, which I love, Craig returned to his ballet roots for the Royal Winnipeg Ballet's production of Romeo and Juliet, returning 20 years after attending school there in a very touching story that we're going to get into.
Oh.
Please welcome back to On the Rocks, Craig Ramsay.
Thank you. You're my agent and manager when I hear that. Thank you, Alexander.
So I'm obsessed with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet story. It was a story I was able to write on for Bear World Magazine.
Thank you for doing that.
Of course, please. But you guys got so much press. Tell our listeners from your words, because hearing it, you're like, oh, that's a great story. But it is an amazing story, and I want our listeners and viewers to
Very,
hear
very
it.
brave, bold move of the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. I trained there 22 years ago. Basically, everyone that's in the company now wasn't even born when I was there. So just put it in perspective. But I recently went there last summer to visit my friend Catherine Reeford, who also trained there 20 years ago. And we both decided back then, are we going to do ballet or are we going to do Broadway? And we went to the Broadway route. And unfortunately, because I was on full scholarship there, the people that were in power at that point didn't want anything to do with me for 15 years. Probably I mean, I understand. They invest in you and you leave, and then they,
Right.
you know, they wanted to groom you for the company. But I visited her there that summer, and we went into that building, and there's a lot of fresh blood there, and they were so inviting, and they wanted to talk about what my feelings were about, you know, being shunned for 15 years and things like that. And then, to my surprise, in November, they called and offered Catherine and I to go back and star in Romeo and Juliet with them.
Oh, wow.
Which a ballet company has really never done, because you know, not only did we just were in the school, we were never in the company to begin with.
Wow.
So they had confidence with their school program, and they wanted to give us the opportunity to perform together, and back at where it all started. And because Catherine has terminal brain cancer,
Oh my
and
God.
she was diagnosed almost 6 years ago, and given 2 years to 6 years max to live, and she hits that mark in June this year. And she's got 2 young kids, and they wanted to give her the opportunity, the family, the opportunity to see her on stage one last time.
Wow.
And you guys were roommates in New York, in
Toronto.
LA?
Yeah, I was actually her guardian in Toronto because she was only like 3 years younger than me, but I was so mature. I mean, who's your daddy?
Yeah. Taking care of Leah Michelle and,
Yeah.
and everybody.
Goodness.
And taking care of myself and a couple of my gentleman friends at the time, you know, of course. Oh, I'm just saying, I lived my life too. I wasn't just a caretaker.
But we actually have a picture of you guys. You're super young. Well, that's super. Oh, you, Kurt, play this
Oh
picture.
my
This is where it all
God.
started. This is a little troublemaker.
Oh, look
Craig
at
How
Ramsay.
adorable.
Wearing
And
short
gay.
shorts,
How
even then.
gay.
Yeah, look at those short shorts. Who wears
So
short shorts?
funny.
Craig Ramsay. But there's the picture.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, there it
Oh,
is.
we have a picture just like that, don't we?
Oh,
You guys
you
do.
guys are all the next generation Catherine and Craig.
Right.
What I love is that you guys traveled for all these major cities doing shows, but you guys never appeared on stage together until this opportunity.
Yeah, we lived in cities together, including in New York, and we did separate Broadway shows. We have so much history together that we truly are soulmates of sorts. I know more about her, and we were able to have these easy conversations about even like her death, that she's not able to have with her husband and mother, who just simply cannot give her that kind of respect in a way. Like, she wants to talk about it. So for me to be there and be able to witness this is a woman that had open craniotomy. She had a grapefruit-sized tumor removed. Her speech was affected. So knowing Catherine before, knowing her now, it's good that I was there, and it was smart that the Royal Winnipeg had invited me, not only to give me my moment to shine and show what I've been up to with numerous Broadway shows and such, but I had to hold her hand. Like every time we came off stage or every time in rehearsal, she'd look at me and go, "What's next?" And that's not Catherine. Or I'd see just exhaustion, and she can't visually see past like 6 or 8 feet. So
Wow.
here she is performing. But my husband saw it, and this goes with the reviews. They said it was the most glorious performance of Lady Capulet that has ever been done with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, and I think it was 50, 60 years of them doing
that's
it.
so crazy.
Well, and the role of Lady
Powerful.
Capulet is a strong woman with
Mature.
this kind of dichotomy with Lord Capulet.
And
I mean,
Tybalt,
yeah.
her love affair with Tybalt,
Yeah.
and then when he dies, and Catherine had to throw her body down like this, and when she looks up, everything just has such passion because
Yeah.
no one knows that kind of dramatics like someone in her situation where she honestly didn't know if she was going to live the next day. Every day that she showed up, she goes, "I'm just so grateful to be able to be here and be present, even if I have a bad MRI, which she has every 3 months." She said she would live of that 2 more months. And yeah, so it's heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what a beautiful way to leave your signature and for life to come full circle. And what I love about you returning to ballet is we know in entertainment genres now have to cross over.
Yeah.
As an entertainer, you can't just say, "Oh, I just do Broadway," because then you limit yourself. Or "I'm just a
Right.
singer." Now you have to act, you have to be a singer, you have to be a dancer, you have to be able to dance ballet, pop, hip hop. You have to be able to dance on So You Think You Can Dance
Ballet
to
is so unique,
Fosse.
though. I mean, I have to say, I was terrified.
I took ballet for 2 years.
You get
Did
it.
you?
I was awful. I was awful.
I doubt you were awful.
I
Come
wish we had
on.
pictures of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mama?
Yeah,
No.
Mama.
You hear me?
No,
That's
no.
your question for Mama.
Yeah.
Pull those pictures out.
But I was good at tap because I'm more like you can see the way I carry my body is
Yeah.
very exact. So tap was great.
And the
ballet,
musicality
yeah.
of that too.
Yes.
I think that's what going back to the ballet world terrified me was can I do what I could do before? No, I can't. I have glimpses of it, and that's what I wanted to offer myself. So I dropped 30 pounds in about 3.5 weeks. Which was, I mean, my body's quite big and I have a lot of muscle on my structure that I shouldn't have because of ego and bodybuilding reasons.
Muscle that you shouldn't have. Nobody's ever said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's too much muscle." Nobody's ever said too rich,
Yes,
too
they
skinny
do.
is too much
have.
muscle.
Yes, they
Yes,
do.
they have.
I say it all the time. But you're good. You're not at too much muscle. But
No, but
it
you're
exists.
so tiny. I have never
For
seen
now.
you this tiny.
And I gained about 18 back of the 30, but my composition is changing. So now that I have had my fun, I've relaxed a little bit, I'm going to go back into being able to move with ballet, which will be another 20 pounds off and tighten up.
Well, what I loved about your Instagram stories and your post was that you shared the struggles that you had. You shared how your body changed. You shared, there was one where you kind of did a side-by-side post because your movement is very,
Yeah.
even Broadway dance, like
And
even
I'm
Fiddler on the
flexible
Roof.
as a big guy, like I still have all that
Yes, you are very
flexibility.
flexible.
But I was able to move with more confidence because I knew I wasn't going to get injured, like tear my meniscus, things like that. And then my fear was taking company class, not even the show itself because that's rehearsed and you have a lot of time to do that. But company class, it's the mind with the body. It's all, and it was there. So if anyone's ever taken dance, my advice to you is it doesn't have to be with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet or ABT or anything. It's for yourself. Go take a dance class, put on music, and just move your body with that kind of confidence again.
Yeah. Oh, I
Feels
need
so
that.
good. It's so freeing.
We're going to go take a pole dancing class.
Those are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't
They're
get me
good.
near. I'd be one of those like Instagram videos that you see. It's like fail where the pole like falls down.
It's more for me. He knows exactly what he's doing when
Oh.
it comes to dancing and moving and doing all that. But
And
I
pole
have
dancing.
no dance skills. Like I'm the girl who sits down because I know better. Like
It's that.
it's really bad.
But and wouldn't you say, Craig, most of the limitations that you have are actually what you put on yourself?
Oh, yeah, they're
like,
mine.
I think we should all go take like a ballet class just to see like what
Probably
happens.
Oh
right.
my God.
To do that, but also start stretching. A body that is too inflexible to move can't properly execute any dance class, even a tap one, because your ankles will be too tight. So stretching for 20 minutes every night is something that I think people simply do not do.
Don't do,
And it would open up a new world.
Craig, is reaching for the remote considered stretching?
If you're that tight and you put your glutes at the very back of the couch and you reach, maybe.
Do you know how many Netflix shows I've seen? Because it's just like, it's play next, press stop.
Yes.
If you don't want to, I'm like,
You don't
the
even have to
remote's over
play
there.
next anymore. I think it just
No,
goes.
that's what
It
I
just
mean. So I watch,
goes,
I'm like,
yeah.
I might as well watch this, and then I binge watch
you
8
go,
episodes.
you go to stand up and then you're like, no, just sit down again. I'm good.
But then it asks, are you still watching? And it goes to that black screen, and then you see a reflection. You're like, oh. It's like death becomes her before she changes.
And you're looking at yourself like this. Oh no, I am still watching.
Speaking of stretching, which we're all going to, you do a series of events all around the nation.
Drunk fitness.
Which, see, I'm like, oh yes. And in fact, there's the flyer for it. You do a series of classes called Stretch a Reason to Whine.
Yes.
Now, I like to whine about life, and I like to whine with wine.
And you will like to stretch because of the wine, and that's the whole point.
Okay, so explain it.
Well, I am a trainer that wants fitness to be accessible and to fit into people's life. So most people that I see, especially women, they'll tell me, you can do whatever you want fitness-wise, you can give me whatever you want, food-wise, you're just not taking away my wine. And I said, okay, no problem. You're right. I wrote a book, Anatomy of Stretching, and so what I do is I tell people, okay, if you're gonna have a cocktail, the act of stretching appropriately, and I guide them through that, is going to increase the effects of the alcohol. So you're actually going to feel it more. So you don't need to have as much alcohol to kind of relax. And we all want to relax. It's 2019. Everyone's stressed out.
Right now, I have a knot right now in my neck. For nothing else.
Wine and stretch, please.
Yeah.
Well, Stoli, thank you,
I'm
Stoli.
really excited about this class. I'm like,
It's great and
super
it's
stoked,
fun.
yeah.
And you know how fitness classes oftentimes are mean girl mentality.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
people don't feel welcomed
Yeah.
and they feel shamed and they can't keep up and all that stuff. This is a class that's so open for absolutely everyone.
Good.
Stretching is the only exercise workout that is for every single person, regardless of age, body shape or size, athletic ability, disability, anything like that. Yoga is different. Yoga is for a specific group. Stretching is for absolutely everyone. And then with the wine, and I have non-alcoholic options. I looked at you for some reason. Sorry. For people that don't want to consume alcohol, but the wine actually helps you leave your inhibitions at the door, and you just have fun with your fitness finally.
Plus, like, if I'm worried about, like, oh, Sylvia's looking at how weird I look, the wine's gonna be like, hey, girl, look how weird I look.
Yeah.
Right?
And everyone's laughing. No
Yeah.
one cares. And if people don't want to stretch, something doesn't feel comfortable for them, they have the option of standing up, walking over, and actually pouring themselves more wine. Like, come on. It's just freeing for everyone. And it really motivates people that take it. They actually get motivated to get on a healthier lifestyle track.
Good.
Well, and I love that. Plus, there's also a networking. You always have celebrities and influencers that go, and there's networking before, after. So it really is, like, talk about a Hollywood event. It's on the rooftop at Lapeer in West Hollywood. If you've never been to Lapeer, it's under the stars. It's going to be a beautiful night.
Oh, you're going to see stars?
Yeah.
You'll see stars.
I'm like,
You see them now, girl.
I'm like, okay. We were just talking about that yesterday, how you can't see any stars. I'm like, is there a place to see
There's like
stars?
one or two, and then you see, oh, it's just a drone.
plane.
It's a drone.
Yeah.
Aliens, beam us up.
Yeah.
So if you're in the Southern California area, you can buy tickets. Where can people go?
Please go to my social media at Craig Ramsay Fit, or if you just simply Google Stretch a Reason to Whine, it will all pull up. And you'll be able to see it.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you there if you're going to be there. All right, let's get the show on the road. I'm going to formally introduce our guest for tonight. And Craig, you're going to help me.
Yes.
And you've actually worked with Wesley. We're going to take some footage.
But clarify, I've worked with Wesley.
I don't need to. We have footage.
Yeah.
Also, after I formally introduce them, we're going to do something fun. I know how we usually keep rapid fire for the end of the show. We're going to do it all throughout the show. So when you hear a certain sound cue, Kurt, can you give us just a little sample of what we're going to hear?
Oh, we're mixing it up.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
That's the Star Trek red alert, because I'm a nerd. Boop, boop. And then we will launch into rapid fire questions that I received from you guys from Facebook and email, and we're just going to boom, boom, boom. So we have some sessions of that, so be prepared for that. But let me formally introduce our guest. Silvia Sage, Kansas City native, worked in medicine for nearly a decade before heading to LA to chase her dream of becoming a comedian. Now in her 8th year performing as a stand-up comedian, she performs as a host, featured act, and headliner, slaying stages at iconic places that include the world-famous Comedy Store in LA, the Improv, Ha Ha, Ice House Comedy Club, Stanford & Sons, LA Comedy Club, and the Broadway Club in New York. She made it to the finals of LA's Funniest Comic in 2016, most recently successfully competed in Comedy Central's Roast Battle 3 times as a crowd favorite. She co-hosted New Orleans Gay Pride with fellow adult film star and co-host Wesley Woods, and was a presenter at the 2019 Gay Vienna Awards. I can't even imagine what those parties were like.
So fun.
She continues to thrive in her status as a fan favorite in the adult film world with over 300 films completed, as well as her business ventures and producing. She currently co-hosts both Sexy Funny Raw with Wesley Woods, coming to UBN Go and iTunes later this month, and Sexual Disorientation with Dr. Ramani Dravasula. Is that how you say it?
Ramani Devasula.
Ramana
close, yeah.
Dravasula.
I know her.
Oh,
She's on
really?
Intervention. Yeah.
Oh,
she was
really?
a therapist on that.
I love her.
Do you see what
Hollywood.
small world this all is? Silvia has made it her mission to open the world's eyes to sexuality, standing up for the sexual rights of women, men, and the transgender community, making her On the Rocks debut. Please welcome Silvia Sage.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Oh my God, of course.
300 videos. She does need stretch a reason to whine.
I do.
Yeah, girl.
I do. You have no idea.
You must be exhausted.
My body is always exhausted.
300
Like,
videos.
So tired. That's like
tired
that's a
thinking about
minimum. That was I'm at
that's
5 years now. So
Oh,
that
at
was
5 years.
that was kind of at like I know for a fact I've completed at least 300 films, but I have no idea like where it's at now. It's probably closer to 4 or 5.
Wow, that's a lot of respect for you, man.
Well, that's hard work. And then some of the films, like you're like a background character, so to speak. Or
Yeah, for men.com and stuff
Yeah,
like that. But
some
I've
other
even
stuff.
been men.com now does a site called Why Not
crossover,
Buy.
yeah.
And I starred in their first film, and I've done another since then. But yeah.
Well, you are very popular. I love looking at you, girl.
Thank you.
We went out to the Abbey the other night. I think it was on Friday, and she's like, "Oh my God, my blouse is see-through." And we're all walking. She's like, "No, you can tell everyone's gay because she said that and nobody.
No
looked."
one's looking. No one cares.
Except for all the straight guys that want me to take them to the Abbey because they know that they're going to
That's
absolutely
exactly
get the
right.
hottest
I
girls.
tell straight guys
But
all the
they
time.
think that. And it's not, like, because I tell him that. There was a guy there that was like, oh, I'm straight. And it was like his friends were like shoving him into me. And I'm like, I'm still never going to, like, I would never be with you.
Oh, yeah, there's that part,
Like,
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like, just
Yeah.
because you're the only guy in this
Yeah.
bar doesn't mean you're the only guy left in the world.
That's like a gay guy being at a straight bar. It's like, oh, two gay guys work together or at a straight bar together, they're going to be together. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
Attraction.
Right.
Yeah, the OC this week.
You said I had to keep it PG, so I didn't know if I could drop the F-bomb. I was trying really hard to find other words.
Yes, you can. This is the thing about this show. We're gonna talk about everything with the adult film industry, your guys' career, and we're gonna do it in a very accessible way.
Let's go there.
Yeah, let's go there. Returning to the show, Wesley Woods is a gay porn performer and stand-up comedian originally from East Texas, now residing in Los Angeles. He has performed at various comedy clubs in LA, including Laugh Factory and Comedy Store, hotels on the Las Vegas Strip.
And he performs there.
Yeah.
As I put on lip balm,
Yeah.
I'm like,
He performs to packed
timed
audiences.
that.
Get it? Packed
Packed
audience. Okay. Special events across the country and comedy contests, reaching the finals of LA's Funniest Comic in 2016. He began his porn career in October 2015 and has since racked up numerous gay porn nominations, winning Performer of the Year 2017, 18, 19, Best Actor 2018, 19, Male Clip Artist of the Year, a Webcam Performer of the Year, and you can hear his hi y'all coming to his podcast Sexy Funny Raw with his co-host Silvia Sage later this month. Please welcome back Wesley Woods. All right, so we're gonna get to the basics. I'm sure you guys have been asked these questions a lot, but it's questions that people ask over and over. And
Yes.
I've heard some of your interviews, and it's like, okay, certain questions you just have to get out. Like, what was it like being on Bravo TV? Blah, 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 blah. How did you guys come up with your porn name?
His is way more interesting than mine. Mine was nothing. Mine was like my friend was doing porn and I was really broke and she was making a lot of money and I was like, I'm gonna do porn. And I decided that day, and then the next day I went in and signed a contract with somebody. And so my agent at the time was like, well, what do you want your porn name to be? I was like, I don't know. Up until 24 hours ago, I never thought about doing porn before.
Isn't that crazy?
So-
It's like, Siri, what is my porn
Yeah.
name? Okay,
Yeah.
her name is Silvia
Yeah.
Sage.
So I started naming off names, and I think I got to Sylvia. I was like trying to go through the alphabet, and I said
A through
Sylvia.
S? That's a
Yeah.
lot. Those are a lot
Right?
of names.
She's committed.
Yeah.
She really
Expect that
she's
guys
I
like
am-
this.
And he was like,
By the time you get to S.
he was like, yes, I love Sylvia. And I'm like, okay. And then last name, he's like, Sage. And he's like, but we can't spell it normal. Like, he wanted everything to be, like, spelled differently.
Which
so
they do in porn a lot.
yeah, so it has 3 I's. Sylvia Sage does Silvia Saige, and I actually have a joke that goes along with that, so it works out for me now.
I wanna hear I want to hear the joke.
Well, it talks about how 98% of men in the world eat pussy wrong. So that's the truth. And
Kurt all of a sudden is into the show. He's
Yeah.
like on top of it.
I did Cats
I
the
know. I'm like,
musical.
okay,
Right.
Yeah.
we're going there.
Well,
we're
you
we're
peed on
having this
everybody in Cats the
conversation.
Musical.
Oh my gosh, I did. I can't believe you just said that.
No,
on
do you guys
the
know
mic.
that he peed on his cast members in Cats the Musical? Like literally showered them
It's
with his pee.
infamous. It's Googleable.
Yeah.
but
that's
yeah.
hot.
I wonder if they're going to put that in the
They
movie
didn't think
Cats.
so.
They just wrapped filming Cats, by the way.
Oh, I know. I heard. Yeah.
Speaking of pussy, so when you're eating it,
Oh.
you
They got so distracted. They're
Bring
like,
us back.
yeah. So
Oh, and there's a picture of Cats. Wonderful.
even better, I say that you should flick the
PG-13, Sylvia.
I'm trying. I don't know PG. In an eye motion. So I.
That works.
Yeah, that's.
And that's good because a lot of gamers can only do up, left, left,
Yeah.
AB. So
just
that's
stay
good. It's basic.
directional. Yeah, same thing over and over and over and again.
Way to bring it back for the
Yeah.
kids.
Aye. It's instructional. You guys
It
should
is instructional.
You guys should do like a kid show for adults. How awesome
That's
would
what
that
I
be?
want to do. I'm totally.
How fun
That's
would that
my
be?
goal.
Like Pee-wee's
yeah.
Playhouse.
That's fun.
Yeah. I.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love
And
that.
your name? How do you come up with your?
I'd love
me and my mom were driving around town. I was at home
Your
visiting
mom's
them.
involved in this?
Yes, and
She's a big
Mom is
supporter.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
and the main street in the town I grew up in is Wesley Street, and so we were like Wesley, and like being from the country, we're like, oh, the Woods, and my mom's like,
Oh,
oh,
I
it has a
love
nice
that.
little ring to it, Wesley Woods.
She came up with the Woods? I
Yeah.
mean, that's so appropriate.
And
you know,
then-
gay men, you know.
Yeah, and so
And
then-
then he Googles it.
And yeah, because mom was like, you got to make sure no one else has that name,
Oh,
right?
she's smart.
Yeah, we Googled it, and it turned out to be like a nursing home and also a church camp.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
figured, that was a sign from God.
Not for them, but
Yeah. Sign from God.
Well, hey, I love it. Jonathan Caulflower from Laguna Beach Pride is in the chat room. Says hello, hello,
Ooh,
girl.
hi.
And Wesley, because you and I text sometimes when you go back home, and you're like, "There's nothing to do. I have no reception." It shows Grindr, and like next person is like 14 miles away.
Yeah.
Literally, how many people were in the town that you grew up in?
97. But
In the whole town.
97.
But we drove into the town, and it's only like 10-minute drive, and it's like a town of, back then about 20,000 people. So there was still a city, but like we were removed because we were out at the ranch, and you don't have a car obviously growing up, so you're at the ranch like and
Mine had 2,000 people in my town
Yeah,
that I
right
grew
on.
up in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
On
from there.
Grindr in a small town like that, do people do like blank faces and it's like a
Tons of
mystery?
blank
Yeah, that's what I would
faces.
think.
Wait, well, you guys just came from OC. I'm in OC often.
Yeah.
It's all no faces, and it's all can't host in the closet because they're all married. It's actually
Yes.
sad. They're all married
Oh.
men with families. It's
Yes.
like, how many unhappy people are there?
So many. All of
So
them.
many.
No, I'm not just kidding.
maybe they're not unhappy because they have the app.
Because they have an outlet.
Well-
selfishly, him or,
Well, because
that person is
they
okay,
don't get
but-
it often. It's like 2 minutes of happiness, and it's like, oh. Now you came from Kansas City, which
Yeah.
also is.
She's
I came from a
town
small
girl.
town as well, yeah.
How
We're
many
about the little,
people-
trashy.
We were supposed to be the first class to graduate with over 100 people, but a couple of us died. We didn't make it.
Oh,
my God. What they
Some
die
people
from?
die in every class, though. That always happens.
Yeah.
No.
You didn't have anyone in your senior class die?
In my whole school career, no.
What?
Oh, I had
Oh my God!
multiple
Every
people.
year we had multiple
Multiple.
people
What did
die.
they die from? Like
Four-wheel
tractor?
accidents.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
four-wheeler accidents, car accidents, guns, whatever.
man.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
actually a sad comment.
America,
Yeah. Yeah.
America.
Middle America. That's middle
Yeah.
America.
And I
Yeah.
grew up in Orange County. People died from like golf carts tipping over,
No, they
or
did
like
not.
alcohol
Amazing.
poisoning.
Alcohol poisoning is real, though. Yeah, it's a fact.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Stoli vodka. So okay, now this is kind of a serious question.
Okay.
I know you guys, and Wesley, I've known you for years. You've done the show. When I introduced you to friends, we all went out on Friday night.
Yeah.
Your name literally has become your identity. such
Yeah.
as every appearance you make, every new friend you've made for your career, there's not this, oh, what do you want to be called by? You are called by your name.
Yeah.
Now that has to play with your psyche on some level, where is my identity? Where's my character's identity? Because you're playing characters. Does that ever play with your psyche?
It used to in the beginning, I think, but I don't feel it at all anymore. I think he feels it way more than I do. I'm just like, Silvia, like, fuck. Oh, sorry. Screw Kristen. I don't even know who she is anymore.
Yeah.
Like, she so far removed from it.
Have you blended the two together though?
Yeah.
There's still her with
It's
you.
still her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda, a little bit, but I mean, Kristen is really weak, I feel like. And Kristen was like someone who had multiple attempts at suicide. And I was like, spent a week in an insane asylum and a straitjacket. Like, Kristen was a crazy, drunk 20-year-old with a lot of mental issues. And Silvia is a strong-ass woman who has discovered a lot about herself and is like taking over.
What I like about
Well, good. But bravo to you. That's great.
Yeah.
and what I love about the interviews that you give is you always talk about, there's so many misconceptions about people who do porn. And you say it has empowered you. It does
Yeah.
empower you as a woman by the fact that you're having sex with men doesn't make you subjugated to them at all.
Absolutely.
You've been empowered. But you were like in the medical business.
Yeah, I worked in medicine for 8 years, which made me hate myself in my life. It's actually when I did all my suicide attempts. Was in the decade that I was working in the
help other
medicine.
people.
Yeah,
Why? Because you saw that
I was
around
living
you?
somebody else's dream. I wasn't what I wanted to do. I was very unhappy
So it probably
day
didn't have
in
to
and
do
day out.
with the job, but just what
It
the
kind
direction
of
you
did though, because I was working in medicine, I was working in cardiology, and you're working and you're trying to like literally save people's lives, and they're coming in with these long list of medications. They're not taking care of themselves. They're still smoking and still doing all the things that are going to put them in their grave. And it's like, why am I even helping these people? That's pointless.
As I put my glass down.
Is it possible though, because it sounds like you went through so much and you were going through so much. If it's similar to like when you're on a plane, and they say you have to feed yourself oxygen first before your neighbor.
Yeah.
I'm sure in that environment, if you weren't healthy and you weren't taking care of yourself or able to, because you're so young, and I'm sure if you've been through stuff, then you're going to be
not so
putting
young
yourself
anymore,
in a
but
situation.
yes.
But then I'm sure you weren't able to take care of others because you weren't able to take care of yourself.
100%.
But it's funny, in the little time that we've known each other, you have a very nurturing quality.
Yeah.
You do have this open heart. You do take care of people in your way.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely mama bear to a lot of people.
Well, we from the Bear World community, thank you, rah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was just the way I was raised. My family was very much the family that on Thanksgiving or Christmas, we always had, at Christmas, there was always extra gifts under the table, and we would bring in anyone who didn't have a place to go, and there was always something there for them. And it was just how my family was. If you have a place, if I have a place, you have a place, and vice versa. And so there was never like, you would never turn people away. And so my house has often become the crashing pad for all my comic friends or my,
Can I
porn
ask,
friends
does
or
that
whatever.
relate to your work too? Like, if you're carrying heart, does that translate to your work and your relationship with the people that you're working with?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it has to. I mean,
most men, if you're doing men or women scenes, or I
Both.
don't. Okay, so most people, I think, that are in those environments are so used to having a disconnect. And if you actually are that loving, caring person, like I know you are, I can imagine how that would be a unique, multi-faceted turn on.
It's different because it is still a switch. There's still a turn off and turn on for me
There's
at work,
performance,
100%.
Yeah, we talk about
Yeah.
that all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, I still connect to the people. I say all the time I get paid
Or
to have
care.
sex with my friends because
Yeah.
it's a very small world
Yeah.
in porn.
You
whether
work like
realize
5 or
it
6
not.
guys like on a regular
Yeah,
basis.
it's the same, especially men, because
Yeah.
straight men, it's a very small pool. So I'm working with the same people all the time. So we have a respect for each other and a love for each other, but it's still, when the camera turns on, we're going to have sex for the camera.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's very different. Like Wesley, I'm a fan of porn. And gay porn is different because literally the pool is so big depending what genre, and you do many different types of genres. There's so many different actors that you work with, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
You can't build that same kind of camaraderie. And I know you've even on social media have come head to head, so to speak, with some of the other actors politically and socially, and
Oh, you have, eh?
Hey.
about
Hey.
body positivity, which I applaud you for, but also
Yeah.
about politics. Is it hard to build a relationship when you're like, okay, the gay porn scene is ever changing. Actors come in, they come out. Everything I say is an entendre.
Right? Yeah.
But there's not that kind of intimacy. Like, Silvia, you're working with the pool of actors.
Yeah.
How do you build that chemistry, that trust?
You know, I've just always operated the same. Like, any space that I'm going to occupy, like, I want to have filled with love and just be fun and lighthearted. And I guess that's how I build my intimacy, is like I just try to get to people at a fun, fellow human being kind of level. Like, I'm just a small town boy. I always say I grew up in a little high class white trash, and
Also because he's a super slut. So when
Yeah,
he's in there,
I mean-
he's like ready to like get dirty and fuck. And see, I'm like a clean hoe. I'm like, I don't want to get dirty.
I like to fucking perform.
No. But here's emails I got from your fans. And I've written a few articles about you in Bearwood Magazine, Instinct Magazine.
I like working with straight performers too, because like they're not trying to fall in love; they're just trying to bang it out, baby.
Right. But there is that like, aw shucks, the everyman of gay porn, every man that looks better than every man. But there's that vulnerability and that availability that you bring to whether you're doing like men in lingerie video or I'm the neighbor acting kooky. We have a picture of one of you where you're just like, I'm here at the window.
Oh my god, I love that. That
Yeah.
scene was a lot of fun.
Is that Jack and Zach?
No, that was
Oh.
I forget what
I
they
love that you
called
know
it.
the names of his films, by the
forget
way.
what they
I
called
watch
it,
all
but
the
it was with
previews
Ricky
to his
Larkin.
videos.
Yeah.
It's just when the
Well,
dicks come
that's
out,
me
I'm
and
like,
Woody right
that's
there.
gonna be good.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, there it is. So
Woody
this is
and I,
like,
but-
and
Yeah.
this to me is so Wesley.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
that's cute.
But you,
I was like welcoming him to the neighborhood, and
yes.
I welcomed him to the
you moved
neighborhood.
to
Bye,
my
you're
neighborhood.
dead.
but it's that vulnerability and that availability that your
Yeah.
fans, because you have hit the market in a relatively short time, and we know, and I don't know how this
Is
is
it
in straight
short?
porn.
Yeah, it's only
Yeah,
been a few years.
Relatively,
right?
when we're, when we've had Brent Corrigan on the show, we've had actors that have run the industry, and I feel, this is just my assumption, that gay porn is harder to make a name for yourself because the audience is like mean gay girls, like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
They
that
are.
one. Is that different in the straight world, that you enter the scene and then
mean-
like fans like you? I know you get very little negative comments on
Yeah.
your videos.
Yeah, thank you. I don't read the comments, but I'm good to know.
My research, I did.
Yeah, I hate to even think about
Oh
reading
my god, I
those.
wish you could read some of the comments.
I think I get.
As a bedtime story.
Yeah,
I think
hers
I,
versus mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because but here's the big difference. As popular as you are in the industry, winning awards, and fans like you, they still feel it's okay to come at you for certain stupid things. And it's
Everybody's coming after everybody, like.
But I feel there's a disparity in straight porn to gay porn.
Well, I think it
In a lot of
also
different ways, though,
translates-
too. There's a lot of different.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it matters that I'm an older woman in porn also because I think a lot of people don't want to step up to me because for one, I'm vocal, and for two, I'm one of the older ones, and I think these young girls are just afraid to say anything to me and speak out to me
Gay
because they'll know
porn
that I'll like
is similar
annihilate.
to drag in a way, the drag
Oh,
community. Because
that's a
the
really
shade,
good-
Yeah,
yes.
people feel like, because you have put yourself in a situation of being a porn star, then that opens up my right to really jump into
Yeah.
judgment of you.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because the mean blogs are like on the free clip sites like Pornhub where you see like 2 minutes for free and it's all of these comments. These are people that are not paying for
Yeah.
your performance that feel that they can. But the drag thing is such a great.
And similar to drag queens
Comparison.
and really good adult performers like Wesley, I put you in that category, I'm sure as well. But it's his confidence. So Wesley's confidence, both on social media and with his work, I think bring up people's issues because here, say, here I am, I'm not doing porn, and my views of that are so less of for society and things like that. But then someone that's doing it has confidence, so it's going to bring out people's
Yeah.
insecurities
Totally.
for sure.
And like my family only fuels the fire. Like they fucking excuse me again. They
$10 each time to
I know.
iHeartRadio.
I-
Write your
Oh
check.
my gosh, I know. We will have to write a check. They support me way too much because I am only like turning it up. Like this is just how it is. This is just me, and I think there needs to be more people who lead with love and aren't afraid to just be.
And cross over.
And cross
You cross over to
Oh,
stuff.
there we go. Rapid fire.
I've
Okay,
crossed
everybody
over.
get ready for rapid fire. Who was your first kiss?
Jessica Cotto.
Where?
In the locker room of school. And no, I'm sorry, it was Kate Duxbury. Kate Duxbury in the locker room at school many, many times.
How old?
9 years old, 8 or 9.
Oh, that's cute. That's like a Norman Rockwell.
Until we were
painting.
14.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
that's a
You
whole
go.
nother. That's not a rapid fire, I'm sorry.
Who was your first kiss?
His name was Mark. We were in kindergarten. I don't know anything about
Oh,
him.
that's
Yeah.
cute.
I think it was Kendall Hesseltine.
What a name.
Yeah.
You made that up.
No, I swear.
Oh, God. Is that what you named your right hand?
No.
Hello, Mr. Hesselton. We're getting ready.
I slap
Yes.
myself,
She
maybe.
played soccer, so we were like into it, you know.
Oh, she's probably a lesbian now. Strangest place you've had relations?
A fitting room?
That's not too strange.
Like,
Yeah. I'm strange. Oh, men's bathrooms. I don't know. It's so
Okay.
easy.
Okay.
Summer Christian camp.
Yes.
Oh, good for
See,
you.
That's strange.
Good for you.
Mine was, oh God, I hope my mom's not listening. Mine was, I was cantering during church and it was up in the choir loft.
Oh.
Worst date you've ever had? You first.
A guy took me to a very expensive restaurant wearing crappy jeans, and then he used a coupon to pay for dinner. First date, too. So embarrassing.
I didn't have the money at the time, I told you.
What was your worst date?
Mine?
Yeah.
I've never had a bad date.
Oh my God, Craig, please.
Honestly, I've never.
In Canada, everything is like rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
I was with Brandon for the last 10 years, so it's before all the apps and things. It was only MySpace and Friendster at that point. So,
Yeah.
no, I only actually had decent, I mean, I would call the worst date a decent date. Sorry.
yeah, you know, I have had a lot of bad dates. But I can't really pinpoint
Your
one
most recent one.
specifically.
Yeah, that's fine.
I haven't really dated a whole lot recently, so
You're terrible. at
God,
this
you
game.
guys are bad.
Yeah, you guys are bad.
That in itself is a.
sorry.
Okay, biggest pet peeve while on set, and this could be on set, like on one of your
I'm just going to say
fitness-
Leah Michelle.
Oh,
That's yes, she's the biggest pet peeve.
I love how shocked you are with that came
I
out
am-
right from the beginning of the show. You're like,
No, I'm
oh my
glad
gosh, oh my gosh.
I'm glad that you're vocal about it.
Yeah.
You know, it usually takes like a lot of this for people to finally start talking, but like,
Right off the bat, I'm like,
yeah. Let me shop.
spill it.
Okay, so maybe ego on set.
Yeah.
Biggest pet peeve on set.
when my sex scene is later in the day and they've ordered lunch and I can't eat it.
Oh, that's awful.
Was that yours?
Yeah, because we talk about that a lot.
Yeah, it's
That's
the worst.
awful.
Everyone else is sitting there eating, and you're like, I'm
What do they order?
starving.
What do they order?
Oh,
Yeah.
just
Everything.
anything.
whatever.
Like,
Like
the
trash?
Yes.
Really? Like
Yes.
pizza and stuff?
Yes.
I mean,
There has
there's
definitely been
really.
pizza on
I've
set.
never had pizza. On
Garlic?
set.
The garlic? Do they serve garlic? No.
And the
They'll
straight guys
order-
are like, "Arr, arr,
they
arr."
don't think about what they're feeding you. They
that's
use
so dumb.
whatever. Yeah.
Mine would be, I just, you know, you're going to be bottoming tomorrow. Like, be prepared.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't our first time at the rodeo.
oh.
We're
Don't
professionals.
wait. Don't wait to
like-
douche when you get on set.
Yeah, and like, you know, I have to educate some of these new boys. Like, I'm doing you some service out there. Y'all should be thanking me.
So here's the thing. It's like, believe it or not, I'm a top. Like we joke, I'm a blouse, I'm a feminine
I
top.
just found that out.
So judgy.
I know.
Don't you think everyone should be
Verse.
versatile?
Yes.
Oh,
though?
it's not an ego thing. Believe me. I wish that I could because things
you
would be.
can.
Yo, you can.
I
We can
cannot.
teach you.
Yes.
Let's do a viral video. Web
Yes.
series. No, but
sit there and
I've
talk to
tried, and this is
So
so.
maybe is it personal reasons?
It's a few different things. It
Okay.
just will not happen.
Okay.
Okay.
And it has nothing to do with like, oh, I'm a top and blah blah blah. Because I think a bottom is like, oh, because
Well,
it's
you
a lot
need
of
one.
work.
Right?
I've been very
course
lucky,
you should
but there
respect
comes a point when you're dating somebody for year after year and they're having to do the same thing over and over, and it's not fair.
Yeah, you always get that. Why are you getting that question of like, oh, when are you going to let me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think things have changed, and you know, we have a lot of younger people coming into like West Hollywood, whatever. I don't think people have the same experience or preparations that.
I mean, I used to be a shitty kitty on a lot of people growing up.
PG-13.
Oh,
really?
Is that not PG-13? I thought that was.
It's a great cartoon show I used to watch.
Well, probably the topic in
thought that was
general
so
makes
PG-13.
make people go, oh wow, it's a lot to handle, and I think that sexual openness is really important, and the conversation that even we're having is really great because it's not just about sex. There's so many other factors, and people don't realize people have medical histories. They have issues. People have emotional issues.
Emotional
things like
issues is a
that.
good thing. Why are we so afraid to talk about sex? I always, whenever somebody talks about sex, even in like at the bars with my
Even
friends,
with us, we were like,
no, I because on like Friday I was like, oh my god, my skin automatically like literally breaks into goosebumps. Part of it's branding. You know, my brand is a certain brand. You guys have a certain brand, but in general, why are we so afraid to talk about sex?
The
We
Bible.
all do it.
The Bible. Jesus told us that we shouldn't enjoy it, so we can't talk about it.
But do you know how much sex is actually in the Bible?
Yeah, I think it's narcissism, actually. I think it brings out the narcissist in all of us because it's a comparison. Every time I hear sex or I see something, I'm comparing initially my body, my dick, my, whatever it is. I go into a place of analyzing and not having self-worth. That's where I think I don't want to talk about it as much. But when we're having open communication about it, I feel better.
I think the reason why we're not talking about it is just because it's uncomfortable, and like if things are uncomfortable, like.
But
you
why is
don't
it
wanna-
uncomfortable?
I
We're
think
all
everyone
doing it. Like,
as
we're
you see right
literally
now,
all
everyone
doing
has their
it.
own different reason,
Yeah.
right? Like we each have a different reason.
But if we're all
for
doing it, we've all seen porn
Right.
at least some portion of our life. We've all seen porn. So why is it so
taboo.
Which is funny because
it stirs
porn
up a lot
stars,
of different emotions for a lot of different people. Like even just right now, like when you're asking, why don't we talk about it? Everyone has their own idea of why they don't like to talk about it or be involved or with it in some sort of way. Like, everyone has their own issues with it.
Which is funny because the porn star world and mainstream world has really come together, where porn stars are in mainstream films. They're doing talk shows. I think Jenna Jameson was a torchbearer for that, saying, "Hey, we're going to blend this because you're watching me as much as you're watching, Meryl Streep." You know what I mean? But it's funny. The porn world is becoming more mainstream, but the talk is not becoming more mainstream.
I think it brings up people's issues. Like how many girlfriends of mine, when I try and set them up with guy friends that I know, they're like, no, he's too muscular, he's too good looking. Why is that?
Yeah.
I get that all the
means
time.
about-
Too muscular, too good looking. I'm like, sorry.
But when we size those things up, I think we want to be in a position of confidence and power.
Yeah.
And I think porn in general, because it's so glorified and beautiful, usually, and all that, I think it brings up our issues. That's my take.
Okay.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions of porn stars?
I think it's that we're all, for my,
Broke crackheads.
yes, that we're all on drugs and that we all had some sort of trauma in our lives that led
Families
us
hate
here.
us.
Right. But yeah, we have good family bases. And I mean, I did have trauma in my life, but it's not what led me to porn. Everyone has everyone has a story.
Yes.
And everyone has some sort of sad story, whether it's your mom or your dad or your auntie or you had nobody in your life. Everybody has some sort of story. It didn't bring me to porn. I mean, if anything, my DUI brought me to porn. But I'm
Why?
very happy for it.
What do you mean?
Because I had been saving up to move to LA, and I had, my little Kansas girl, I'd saved up $16,000 to move to Los Angeles.
That's more than most people to move to
And,
LA, by the way. Good for you.
Yeah,
girl.
thank you.
People are like, I have $20
Yeah.
in this coupon.
But then I came out to LA. I got my apartment and everything, which was, of course, my $2,000 a month apartment,
Yep.
and coming from $500 in Kansas City. But I got everything out, and I came back to pack up my stuff and drive out to LA, and I got a DUI within the week of being back home. So $12,000 of my $16,000 went to my DUI.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I then moved to Los Angeles with $4,000 and no job. So I was working 2 different jobs. I got a job bartending, and then I was working at a construction company doing their books during the day.
Is the pay?
Yeah.
Can I ask you about pay with stripping versus? I don't even know if you know that, but stripping versus porn.
I don't know because I'm not a stripper. I'm about to be a stripper for the
You
first
are,
time.
okay.
Where?
This is why I'm going to take the pole dancing classes. In Tennessee. So they actually hired me to come do comedy / a strip show with
I love
Ron
that.
Jeremy.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
that's
Ron,
great.
Ron Jeremy.
Well, Ron Jeremy's not
Are
going
they
to
gonna
strip.
wheel him in and
He's
up
not.
police?
Yeah.
I think there's a road trip here, by the way.
Yeah,
I
well-
would love to come watch.
Well,
Syndicate.
here's
Oh
the
my
deal.
God.
So
We
if
need
this
to
goes well in Tennessee, which it will, because I'm hilarious.
The dancing,
The
we're
dancing I'm
practicing
going
in
to
the
work
living
on.
room.
I'm going to work on the dancing because I have no skills there. But I only have to do 2 dances, so we'll see.
I think.
But if
I
it
think
goes well-
we should do I think you should do like a
We
little
could learn.
session.
I
Yeah,
need
yeah.
some lessons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
But if it goes well, they have 150 clubs all over the U.S. And so they're like, if it goes well, we'll book you at all the clubs.
And I ask that not assuming that they cross over or that they are one and the same by any means.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about that because there are so many people that come here and don't have the funds, and then it's like, where do we go for that? Like, where does
Yeah.
that mind go to that? And I do have a lot of girlfriends that have gone to stripping route as opposed to the porn one, and I wonder if there's a financial difference.
I don't know. I think some of those girls can make some pretty decent money, though. From
Yeah.
what I hear, they're pulling in like
I think
a
it's like
grand a
anything
night.
in life, like
How hard are you going to hustle?
Yeah.
And I don't mean to make assumptions, but from what I know of friends that strip or do porn, there's a certain stripper clubs have darker lighting and it could be a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
In terms of like porn, it's like there you have to be on top of your game body
Yeah.
wise, which I know, you love to work out, you love to hike.
Yeah.
That has to be part of what you do.
It's more
Yeah.
revealing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
porn world.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not like
And my vagina is in HD on big screens, like it's got to be pristine at all times,
Yeah.
Right.
which is hard. Vaginas are hard.
I mean, so are booty holes.
oh my lord.
This
I
is
know
a
I've got both
perfect
of them. Remember?
Oh yeah.
reason to talk about Magic Mike.
Yeah,
Speaking
so
of stripping.
this is the funny thing. So, we text all the time. I barely get to see you, but I feel like, your career and this is a new part of what you're adding to your career from
Yeah.
stand-up comedy to I'm going to do this scene, I'm going to work with this company. This is how I'm going to reinvent myself. Which is we as entertainers, no matter what field of entertainment you're in, you always have to
Be ready.
evolve. And your career has totally changed from being a Bravo celebrity on reality TV to okay, well now we gotta
Back
get
to the
roles.
stage, yeah. I started off in Broadway and then film and TV and I was always what I'm told a strong personality even on Broadway, which got me in trouble in a lot of times, a lot of jobs, a lot of
I've never
write-ups,
seen you
things
as
like that.
a strong personality.
No,
I mean
think
strong,
I'm honest,
confident,
and
but,
that.
But I've never seen you mean. I've never seen you
I talked about Leah Michelle being
That was- that's why I was like-
within 2 seconds. I get in
But
trouble.
that wasn't mean. That was just honest.
Right. So my honesty is the new controversy, I think.
Spilling the
Honesty.
honest tea. There's a new podcast and they're spilling the honest tea.
Honesty.
Anyway.
Love it.
With them
Copyrighted.
sponsoring us.
So cute.
I love Sylvia's looks. She's like,
Adorable. Do
So
it.
returning back Broadway, I had the opportunity to audition for Magic Mike, which is why that when I said about the stripping stuff, because
Yeah.
that's very foreign to me.
Yeah.
But dancing obviously is in my body. But returning to it's all hip hop.
Yeah.
So it really did bring me out of my comfort zone. I had a number of auditions for it, and they were really nice. But I
That's
did
really
hear
interesting.
recently that I did not get it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, they're going the route that they need to with it, and I'm not a very strong hip hop dancer. However, I could learn it and I
Right.
could do it. But there's so much more talent in even the strip world and the
Yeah.
porn world than ever before.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Scene work, you truly do deserve to call yourself actors at this point in time.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I've definitely done a lot of feature films. Hell, the movie we did together, it was like dramatic acting of me
Yeah, I was
being.
crying.
Yeah, it was like
Wait,
real stuff.
did you
There's a
guys?
scene. There's a movie coming out. I think one of the scenes was just released. It's "Don't Tell My Wife" by Mile High Media, but or no, Icon Mail.
Directed
which is
by
owned
Shishi LaRue.
Yeah, directed by Shishi.
We love
LaRue.
Is this the one where you slept with a woman?
No, God, no.
But you
they would
did-
never do a scene.
No.
Okay, but
I
you
have
did do
recently,
that.
yeah.
No, I know because it was very controversial online.
Yeah,
on
everyone.
socials.
I still keep getting like little threats and people mad at me and sending
That he's
crazy
not
stuff.
gay.
So, okay, but I have to, because we did get a lot of emails, so we're going to address it.
Okay.
In a positive way. You recently have added acting with women and trans actors to your resume, which we know gave her pay. We all hate it, but we're still watching the videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's Brandon Cody, who started with Sean Cody, who does it. Johnny Rapid is a big name that has done it. But when, it's so weird, because when one of our own does the opposite, we can't stand it.
yeah.
Straight
We're
for
so
pay?
vocal about it.
Straight for pay.
That's what I am.
I called it straight for bait.
Yeah, straight for bait. Sure, whatever.
I like
Call
that
it whatever
better.
you want, but like that's what I'm doing, and like people are pissed at it. I'm like, if any, they're like, you are taking from our gay community, and I'm like, if anything, girl, I am bringing it to our gay community. Like I am doing straight porns, and
Are you
feeding this
bisexual?
homosexual. No.
So can I ask you?
Am
then,
I? No.
So how do you
Girls,
perform?
just listen to his voice.
Yeah.
How do you perform with it?
You
I've
know,
always wanted
that's-
to know that,
That's
too.
kind of where, like, I guess we can piggyback off what you said. Like, I truly am an actor. Like, when I go there, like, I like to show up and do a good job. Like, and that entails sometimes doing things with men or women or trans women, you know, whomever.
But it's so funny to me because like I do girl on girl porn and I am so not into women at
but
all.
no
I
one
can't
says
stand licking
anything
vagina,
to
but
her.
no one
Listen.
says anything about it.
But here's the
Like,
biggest disparity as well. There's another disparity. It's like Republicans will watch that all day.
Yeah.
It's like that's gay porn
Yeah.
you're watching. Two women
Yeah.
together is gay porn.
Yeah.
There's such a weird. It's
It's a good
like
point
women
that
can do
you
whatever
made,
they want.
That we don't bring it up.
You don't
I
even
think
classify it.
If I'm
Yeah.
going to stereotype, though, I think women are based usually emotionally in a sexual way, and men physically.
Yeah.
I know it's a horrible stereotype, but from my gathering of information that comes at me, especially as a trainer, hearing
Right.
all these stories, so I always assume that a woman's able to emotionally tap into another woman and be able to perform. But I guess
Oh, well,
not.
then maybe I'm a woman on the inside.
You're sensitive. You definitely are. I think you break
Because,
the mold
like,
of what typical.
I mean, I think I
physical
definitely have a lot of
man
feminine
would be.
energy. Like when I'm on set, like I'm trying to find something that I'm attractive about, regardless of who that is. And
yeah, and that's what I try to do too. Yeah.
And I've
And
heard that
honest-
from porn stars that like they get cast with somebody that's not their type, that they're
Yeah.
not even like behind the scenes, like they're a total jerk. You have to find that one aspect and focus on that.
yeah,
yeah, and I like
absolutely.
knowing that someone on the other end is getting pleasure from this. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know who's actually watching this. This could,
Yeah.
and especially when you look through my inbox, like it's from people who, you know, are young, fit, and all that jazz in the homonormativity world, and to, you know, someone who's like disabled and like really struggling with certain things and really likes watching my scenes because they feel like they're connected and watching me have like a sexual experience. So I mean, I like that aspect too. I get turned on knowing that at the end of the day, like there is someone on the other side. Like
It's just
enjoying
very funny, the gay community coming after you when we're having pride parades for LGBT. B is
Inclusiveness,
bisexual.
yeah,
Whether you are or not, you're representing that kind of community.
Right.
We want to be inclusive, but we're actually being exclusive.
Yeah.
In the straight porn world, when a gay actor does that kind of crossover, I know from what my assumption, again, this is another assumption, that straight actors like, oh, gay person on set, gay porn is not what we do.
Yeah.
There's a homophobia
Yes.
a lot.
It's rampant. It's so
very rampant.
bad.
By
Which
the
is so
girls
wi-
too, or guys?
Yes.
Really?
Just by everyone.
Oh.
Yes.
Expand on that,
I didn't
because
know
I didn't know.
that.
I was talking from the guys aspect. It's like, but then there's a scene where two guys are together and but their bodies do touch, whether
Yeah.
it's intentional or not.
Well,
but speak of from the female.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I'm obviously around the gay culture a lot more than most women are, I guess.
Well, you guys have been best friends for how long?
5 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's great.
In LA, that's 40 lesbian years.
Right? And I do crossover work as well, and I'm sure that's put me on a few people's no list as well because they don't
sure.
even want you working with gay performers. But I
Oh,
had a girl
interesting.
recently, we all were at the Magic Castle, and she was like trying to explain to another guy how that it's hard to do crossover porn because then no one trusts you. And then she said to him, because their standards for testing aren't the same. And she was too drunk for me to even bother to cut in. But I was like, honey child, no. That is the biggest misconception, is that our standards are different. If anything, gay standards are so much more. He has to be tested within 48 hours of a scene. I have 2 weeks I can test on. I can shoot in a 2-week time
That's
frame.
interesting. Because one of the interviews you did talked about the testing. That
Yeah.
means even people that you date, you can't really, because it affects your career.
And also, when I'm on gay sets, when I did the bi scene, it's condom for every exit. So anytime he goes into my hole, it's a new condom for to go into that hole. It's a new condom to go into a different hole. It's a condom switch every
It is very
fucking 5
professional.
minutes. And gay performers and myself are usually on PrEP, which on PrEP you get every 3-month testing, and it's anal swabs, mouth
cultures.
swabs. Yeah, it's way more intense testing than any of these straight
We know,
performers
it's a pain
get
in the ass, but
whatsoever.
do it.
Yeah. And so it's crazy. It's like you want to say the standards are different. If anything, the straight standards are so much lower than the gay standards. And no one is talking about it.
She's ride or die
I'm
for the
sorry. It
community.
gets me very heated because the moment when people start to talk about it, I'm like,
and that's one of the misconceptions. Like, oh, everything goes. Do you know that this became a storyline on Will and Grace? Was they didn't want Will's blood for a blood transfusion because he's gay and he's like so promiscuous,
high risk or whatever.
And then he did this whole speech that I gotten passionate about because it's like, so much more careful.
Mm-hmm.
And you did an interview where you talked about that when you show up to work, here's my test, which really limits what you do on a personal level.
100%. Because I feel like I don't want to have sex with somebody unless it's paid for, because I run a risk having sex with anyone, whether it's paid or not paid. Yeah. And if I come up with something, that means I'm off for a week or I'm off for a month or whatever, or if I'm prep, but if you were to get HIV, that's a career ending in life, not a life ending in HIV at this point, but it's definitely a career ender, and it's like, I run a risk every single time. So why even take a risk with somebody who I'm not getting paid for? That's kind of how I feel.
I saw your posts, by the way.
Which one?
The one that you...
Oh, where I got chlamydia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you talked about it.
Yeah, STIs happen. Oh,
well, there's a red alert. STIs happen.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Our next round of rapid fire.
Okay, I'll be more truthful this time.
Celebrity crush. Sylvia, you go first.
Colin Farrell is definitely
done.
Hands down. He's a huge one.
Ricky Martin and I had him.
You did?
You had him?
Yeah, you don't know that story?
You guys, we're finding all things.
I'll tell it later. I can't. No, it's rapid fire. It's just one.
What year? Okay, but I have to.
Crush. That's it.
Year?
Next question.
Okay.
Come on, let's move on.
Celebrity crush. The funny thing is, like, you literally, I'm body positive. I like everybody. You like a lot of people.
Yeah.
But the celebrity that you're just like, mine's Tom Hardy.
The person that I would...
Really?
Mine's a little different.
In
I don't
a
have
heartbeat.
I have a lot of oomph, but the person I would be dying to fuck, Elton John.
Whoa.
Yes. I want to fuck Elton John so
Oh,
bad.
wrinkly.
Yeah, now we need some story.
Why?
It's fucking Elton John.
He seems nice. So that's a power thing.
He seems nice.
Yeah.
Or somebody that's famous.
Sex can be a lot of different things.
Are you a star effer?
No, but I would fuck Elton John for sure.
Oh,
I
God.
would never fuck Elton.
Nobody has ever said that on this show.
Well, Elton John would never fuck me either, but that's okay.
Worst pickup line you've ever heard? You go first.
Oh, God. I don't know. Probably, do you want to fuck? I don't know. Anything. They're all pretty bad. Yeah.
Okay.
I delivered the worst one ever
I
to
can't.
Brandon.
I have to pay $10 now, don't I?
But he ended up marrying me from it. I said, excuse me, at the gym, I said, excuse me, are you contemplating a pre-workout shake? He thought I was the biggest, weirdest tool ever.
But that's so
Meanwhile,
cute.
I'm just Canadian.
And you guys are married.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
Mine's always something real stupid because it's porn related. Someone comes up saying something stupid like, I've seen you a couple of times.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah, something stupid.
All right, you guys, you have to audition for American Idol. What is your audition song? Wesley, you're going to go first.
Stoney LaRue, Feet Don't Touch the Ground.
Great. 10 seconds. Go.
Oh my God.
No, you have to. You have to. We're going to add some reverb. You have to.
You said the song.
Yep.
You said the song.
Come on.
Okay, how does it go?
Okay.
You're auditioning.
Hold on. But I also...
Do it.
What show was it?
I can't, hold on, I can't remember.
With the
Oh my God, you have to.
reverb. With the reverb.
Yeah.
Baby, I remember.
We're going to come back to you.
I don't know the words, hold on.
We're coming back to you, so you better learn those words.
I would do something that they would never ever expect, like Barry Manilow, Dancing Fool.
Do
Okay,
it.
sing a little bit.
Okay. Just give me a chance in my tuxedo pants and presto, I'm a dancing fool.
Damn.
That song is so fitting for you, and you did that so well.
Yeah, but Barry
thank
Manilow
you.
never sounded like that.
Okay. I don't know Barry Manilow very well, but that
Okay,
was great.
what would your song be?
I got the words now.
Well, Wesley has his words. Go ahead, Wes.
No.
Oh, okay.
Girl.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Fancy by Riri McIntyre.
Oh, yes!
Okay.
Yes.
You knew
Okay.
I was going to say
Always.
A few bars. Come on, Chris.
Always.
Mama dabbed a little bit of perfume on my neck, then she kissed my cheek. And then I saw the tears welling up in her troubled eyes as she started to speak.
Yes,
Keep going, keep
beautiful
going.
voice.
Really
I
good.
looked at her pitiful shack, and then she looked at me and took a ragged breath. She said, your paws runned off, and I'm real sick, and the baby's gonna starve to death. She handed me a harp shade of locket and said, to thine own self be true. And I shivered as I watched the road
solo.
crawl across the toe of my high heel shoe. Sounded like somebody else who was talking, asking, Mama, what do I do? She said, just be nice to the gentlemen, Fancy. They'll be nice to you. And that's true. If you're nice to the gentlemen, they will be nice to you.
Girl, we're gonna add albums. We're not gonna do that. That was amazing.
We play
And
that.
sing.
We
Yeah.
play that around the house. Like,
I love it.
yeah.
Sylvia, that was really good.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right,
Beautiful.
Wesley,
Oh, let me find the words.
you already found them.
I know. There they are, right there.
Do you do this on set?
What?
Just stall.
Yes.
Okay.
I remember when I met you, I was a big city boy in small town blues. This place seems so small to me. Yeah.
That's so funny because that is
Cute.
you as well.
Totally. I just
That's
didn't. I wanted the first
adorable.
opening lyric, and I didn't remember.
Do you know what? Fancy has been my favorite song since I was a wee child, and I would sing it at family functions. It wasn't until I was an adult that I realized that
Yeah.
she was a hooker.
Yeah.
My favorite childhood song is about growing up to be a hooker, and then look where I got.
America,
Dreams.
Dreams do come true.
And that song is played constantly at our house.
Yeah, it is.
What would the name of
Wait,
your...
no, you. You've got to sing.
Yeah,
I
You
sing
have
come
got
all
on, you
the
to
time.
sing. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Please.
American Idol would be a little Don't Cry For Me Argentina.
Okay, give it.
Aw.
It won't be easy, you'll think it's strange when I try to explain how I feel.
That's right.
Like a diva, bitch! What would the name of your biography be? Kurt. Kurt. Yeah, Kurt.
I'll take it.
Craig.
Who's your daddy?
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
How many eyes is there?
Yeah, I.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
I.
okay, there we go. I. Oh, it's so tough.
Deep into the woods.
There you go.
I would love to see your one-man show called Into the Woods, and Stephen Saw and I would be like, wait, what?
Stephen Sondheim would be into it.
Oh, yeah, well,
For sure.
as long as
Oh,
he
well,
has...
maybe-
oh.
As long as he has a dungeon.
What is
Oh,
it
that's fine.
What is it like dealing with fans when they meet? Because you guys fly across the world, literally, at conventions, for prides, for appearances, and you're playing the part. So like
Yeah.
you check in the hotel, you've had this shitty flight, and you're like, okay, then you're Silvia Sage and Wesley Woods. What's your interaction like with fans? What's one thing that you would love to tell your fans to do or not do?
I would love to tell them to come up and say hello. I always feel like no one comes up and says anything. They always just get on social media later and they're like,
Well,
oh,
that's
I saw you
interesting.
at blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, come say hi then because it makes my freaking day, first off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh my God, you recognize me? That's so cute.
But that's good to know because it could be a little intimidating. Be like somebody that I've seen on a multiple
Yeah.
daily basis.
Yeah.
That's actually
How
there.
should they say hi? How
Hi.
How should
Yeah.
they
Just
come
be
up?
like, hey, Sylvia, Wesley, and be like, what? And they're like, I'm such a fan. Like, that would make my day. I would take pictures with them. I would sign whatever they wanted. Like, I would do it.
Just say, yeah, you love my work.
yeah,
That's really great to give permission for people to do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Makes my
And
day.
bring money.
Yeah, but don't. Here's also.
Hey, if I'm at a gay bar and I am there making an appearance, I'm probably in my underwear, so bring money, bitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and don't linger. Just
Say what you need
Say
to
your-
make an
yeah.
introduction and then hightail
Yeah,
it.
because I don't
right?
want to be rude. Don't make me be
Right.
mean to you. That's. I
But we can
hate
occupy
that.
the space together.
Yeah.
You know, like, but we don't have to be on top of each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Is diversity and body positivity getting better in porn in terms of the straight world and the gay world?
Not on my side.
I mean,
That's interesting.
I think that we're in an era where like performers are able to take control of it more, so you're able to see content that's being created by artist. If
There
you're
is a
looking
niche
for it.
market
But I
for
mean,
anything.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're looking at major studio porn, no, it's the same shit.
Although
It's the
it's
same stuff and it will be.
inclusive, it's more inclusive, right? With as we talked about trans and bi and like the scene work, has it expanded to be inclusive?
You know, since I started doing some crossover work, some of my gay work has stopped.
I was
Oh,
gonna say it kind of
really?
limits. Once you do the dip over, it's like other
So,
people.
Wow.
That's some
yeah.
tea.
So then what made you both make that decision, knowing that?
I think we both had a stance to make about it.
Yeah, like, you know,
That people are just people that are people.
People are people.
You know.
That's a statement.
And like,
Yeah.
I think our brand is all about that. Like, we don't have all the answers. We darn sure don't try and act like we do. Like,
Yeah.
and
I'm learning every day.
We're in a weird relationship as is, and so like we just I don't know. We're big advocates for love and inclusive. You know, just we're hosts for everybody.
Yeah.
It really does shock me, though, what even my stereotype of someone in your situation would be when I host the He's Fit with Hey Queen, and you were a guest on that. There was a number of adult film stars that I saw, and you were one of the last ones that I saw, actually. And I was shocked at how you came in with you and your personality, and you transferred over, like you said about being a comedian. You were kind of surprised at even one of the questions I asked, where you're like, well, no, I could do it all. But that confidence doesn't exist, and it didn't exist with the other people I had. So I found it so fun because it wasn't an issue for you, so it was an issue for me as a host.
Yeah.
And that initially was, to be honest, it was out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you actually helped host me host.
Well, you know, we had a lot of fun. I had a lot.
Oh,
of
I had a
fun.
lot of
mean,
fun. It was so great.
Yeah.
But it didn't take ourselves seriously, and
yeah.
I expected you to do that, to
Well, good.
be serious, but you didn't.
I think going back to the reason, a big part of why I did it, and I think a big reason why you did it is, how can I stand up for the rights of these people and say that you should want to be having sex with these people, trans people, or gay people? How am I going to stand up for their rights if I won't actually do it myself?
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a little extreme, though, because I stand up for straight rights, too. Single
Yeah, I
moms,
don't
but
think
I'm not
everyone
gonna
has
go-
to do that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I wanted it to be like, I'm
I'm-
that open, you know? Like,
That's
No, I think that's
really
terrific.
because
Yeah.
knowing that that's going to affect your pocketbook,
Yeah.
that's something. And I know you guys also, like, I did an interview with Trent Ducati, work for nonprofit ideas and helping the adult performer community, because there's not the same resources
No.
out there. There's not the same emotional support,
No.
therapy, anything. It's like,
the emotional support is huge, and more people need to be talking about it, because we are shunned in our society. Like, no matter how strong I am as a person, like, it still gets you down because people are still pummeling you. I mean, I'm a 35-year-old woman with a college education. I worked in medicine for a decade. Like, I can hold my own in a conversation. But the moment I say to somebody I work in adult films now, it's like their respect for me goes down.
The
Like, they think my
energy
IQ
completely
goes
shut.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I took dick, like my empathy went away, or my compassion went away, or my intellect went away. It's very intense, and I'm a grown woman with the world like experience behind me. You look at some of these 18, 19-year-old girls who are also being treated like this after walking into a world of sex work. I can't even. I mean, I get down and depressed thinking about it sometimes. How are they dealing with it?
Where do they go?
you
Where
know?
can they go?
Exactly. They don't
don't?
have anywhere to
Oh.
go.
I mean, there's a couple of, I'm not well versed in knowing, so I wouldn't be able to tag anyone, but there's a couple of things that are, I think, starting to circulate finally
Desert
on Twitter.
AIDS Project
Yes,
in Palm
that's what-
Springs is
yes.
working with Trent Ducati. But this is such a great statement, and this is the reality
Yeah.
of porn.
Yeah.
Just like you come from reality TV, there's also a reality there.
Stigma.
The people watching at home, I think you have to understand who's actually be watching this, and the permission that you're giving people to explore their own sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
There's
God,
so
yeah.
many straight guys out there that are actually into trans women, and
Yes.
they don't know it, but then they've
It's
seen it,
so
and it puts it in their
huge
consciousness, and
in
they're like,
OC. It's like,
maybe it's okay. Maybe I can follow through with what's going to satisfy and give me a check mark in my life.
oh, you guys, more rapid fire.
Oh.
Okay, but I gotta know, we have to do rapid fire. So boom, boom, boom. You can have drinks or smoke out with anybody from history who has passed. Who would it be? You go first.
Oh, my grandpa.
Aww. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I was not going that
I
route.
would drink. He's sober, so hopefully he would just have a
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, he had 12
Jesus.
best friends. I think he'd be into it.
Yeah.
I would smoke weed with George Carlin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because he would talk about, like, comedy.
Yeah.
Favorite thing about the other. So you guys, and I'm going to ask you that about Brandon. Favorite thing.
His definitely personality and charismaticness. Yeah. He can make the whole room like just wonder what he's doing, and it's fabulous.
That is true.
Yeah.
I love her attitude. It's intense at times, but she's very confident. And I love strong, confident women. Like, that's just my thing.
Least favorite thing about each other.
His ability to lose everything.
That's my least favorite thing about myself, too. That's why if you ever see me out and about, I always have a fanny pack on. People are like, I love your fanny pack. I'm like, it's because I lose everything.
I made fun of it on Friday. I was like, oh, wow. We're doing grandpa porn now?
Yeah,
Like,
literally, it's that bad.
Okay, your least favorite thing about Silvia?
Her OCD.
It's probably saved your ass. How many
Of course
times?
it has. Hello,
Your favorite thing
losing
about
shit.
Brandon and your least favorite thing about Brandon?
Not about Brandon because he's not here. How about you?
Oh, that's good.
I'll do
no,
that.
I don't want to know
Yeah,
any of that.
yeah. I'm gonna say my favorite thing about you would be your manifestation power. Like he puts things into motion. He puts it out there, and
Yeah,
it's
if I
done.
say it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
It's
He
gonna
does.
happen.
So many
He
people are
does.
like, he's like, oh, we're going to do a feature film with Tom Cruise. And it's like,
He's taken over LA and this
Yeah.
whole scene. So that and my least favorite would be I'm going to get in trouble. No, no,
you can say it. It's
No,
not-
because you handle your alcohol really well.
I think that's for show too. Like the whole theme
Did
of the
my
show
judge
and things
hear
like
that?
that. I would say it's the fact that you've never seen me for training yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Okay,
is-
so you with me. What's
He's
your
going to
favorite
come
thing
do the
about me?
wine yoga thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to be there, but guess where I'm going to be?
the bar.
My favorite thing about you, you're always there. Whether we see each other not for 3 months or whatever. It's not like we hang out like every day. But you're just always there for me. You're always saying, hey, you should meet this person. You should have this person on the show. I want you to connect with this PR rep, which we know competition in this world is like,
Right.
I don't want them to know my contacts. You have
People
none
think
of that.
abundance is limited.
I
It's
know.
not.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's sweet of you.
My least favorite thing about you,
Yeah, I was trying to move it past that.
like when we go out, he is what he says. He's like, okay, in my fitness, we're gonna have 2 drinks and then we're gonna go home.
All right.
My thing is like, no, we're gonna get arrested. We're gonna get a tattoo. We're gonna get pancakes at IHOP, and then you might be able to go home.
Maybe.
Maybe.
My alarm goes off. It's time to retire tonight.
It's like at 9
got a
p.m.
new-
I'm
for
like
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
I'm like 2 drinks, let's go home. And this guy is like 2 drinks, let's party until next week. I'm like, what's happening?
All right,
Center.
So true.
the habit or hobby you think your fans would be surprised to know about. It could be like, oh, I crochet.
I play at least, I would say, a half hour to an hour of online slot machines a day.
What?
Yeah, I do.
I would never in my
I do. I
life.
love gambling.
Wow.
I love slot machines. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like this.
I would never know that.
There you
Ever.
go. I answered truthfully.
Mine is Candy Crush.
Oh, you like
It's
that?
about
yeah.
45 minutes a day.
I don't have anything.
I'm a natural early riser.
No, you're not.
Swear to God.
We,
time do
really,
you
wake
I know
up?
we both are. We both
time?
No,
are.
I know you are.
Yeah.
What time do you wake up?
Are you?
I
really?
usually wake up in between like 6 to 7:30ish. 8,
Even if
maybe
you go
at
to
the
bed like
latest.
at 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We both do, yeah.
Because you guys are younger.
Yeah.
No, I just no.
I want to talk about a certain aspect of your lives, which I think is more naked than porn, which is stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
It's been a long part of your life. In fact, you got into comedy before you got into adult film.
Yes.
Putting yourself out there, it's like, why?
Honestly, I think comedy came for me at a very life-saving point. It came to me when I was like 28, and it was after all of those horrible life decisions that I was making. And I was just going out and seeing a lot of comedy, and my buddy was performing like open mic nights and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I'm so jealous of you. I wish I could do that. And he was like, well, you can. He was like, so he just put my name down in a open mic one night, and I went out and I did it. And that very first night, didn't know what I was going to be talking about, but it went well for whatever reason. And I was addicted right then and there. And I did 2 years of comedy in Kansas City before I came out here to LA to like really try it. And then I didn't last long in LA. I lasted 4 months in LA. And then I went to Vegas for a year and a half. And that's where I met this guy.
Well, that was because of the DUI that you
Yeah.
talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I moved to Vegas, and it sent her to Vegas, and we met at an open mic
Yeah.
at a trashy dive bar.
Yeah.
But that's every comedian's story is like, that's a part of the career.
Yeah.
You just have to.
Yeah, you start in the crappiest places. And I mean, I still do crappy places all the time. I still do bar shows on a regular basis.
I love trash.
Yeah. But it's fun. And honestly, it allowed me an outlet for a lot of things, and it allowed me to talk about the things in my life and be very honest. And I think that's what a lot of people come away from my comedy. They're like, wow, that was super honest and very informative.
With a laugh afterwards.
Yeah.
No, but it's true, because doing research for the show, you have some of your stand-up routines on YouTube.
Yeah.
Look up Silvia Sage comedy. Eric Steinecki says the show is very eye-opening and educational and fun. Who knew Wesley had this sensitive side? He said he loves the honesty of the show.
Oh, good. I love that.
I'm very sensitive, too sensitive.
Yeah, you definitely have, your mother allowed your femininity to come out, which is good. You were probably her
My
only little
compassion.
girl.
But I've seen both sides of you also. It's like,
Oh, for sure.
like F him, like over it, or I'm going to fight with somebody on social media. Like, there's that strength to you. But like, I'm a mama's boy too. We have that because we always know we can go home to mama.
Yeah.
Who did you fight on social media?
Who hasn't he fought on social media?
I don't consider it fights because, there's got to be a back and forth.
Right.
Like, if I say something, it's over.
Right.
No, but it's also very good because it was,
You're like-
I forget, one of the porn stars said
No,
something about like, oh, somebody
it's
was
really
too
not-
chubby. And he's like,
Oh, yeah.
and you like
If
immediately.
came to the
here's
defense.
here's my thing. Like, if I'm on my social media and I happen to be following you, like, there comes a time that if I happen to see something during my time, I'm either going to notify you right then and there or just unfollow you. So I'll do both.
Well, you're your own network. That's what
Yeah.
people don't
I'm like,
understand is social
I don't
media
wanna see
is
that.
that's my Bravo TV.
Yeah.
You know, that's your network, your network. We all
Yep.
deserve to have that platform,
But
and
we
it's
still
up
know
to
what
us.
we're saying too. Like,
You what? We said.
but like we still know what we're saying, and we still know that we're going to incite something. Like, you didn't just say like,
Oh, really?
yeah.
What?
Oh,
He
please.
does. He does.
So your foray into comedy.
He likes to light fires.
Hey, I like
Yes.
to push the boundaries. We
Yeah.
grow when we're towards our the furthest away, like from our
He
comfort
tries to
zone.
run
Let's
those
be honest.
boundaries past me before he posts stuff, and I'd always just go, "Girl, post whatever you want." Like I am no part of that. I'm not gonna retweet. I'm not gonna comment. Like that's all. You
It's funny,
Bill.
she lets you do it, but she's always there to be like, okay.
yeah.
This is family. We're in this together. Like, we met at an open mic in Las Vegas. She actually was the one that said you should get into porn. I got into porn, had the conversation with my family because of that. Like, yeah, so even
Make that money, honey.
even everyday things at home, like on our social media, I'm like, girl, can I please?
So you guys, we have to talk about, this is just leading up, what you guys have done, Sexy Funny Raw, is a very fun YouTube, like self-filming, but you guys are actually taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
My viewers and listeners, you guys have
Because
to
of
check
you.
out Sexy
Yes.
Funny Raw. Girl, it's you. That's premiering actually on this network at the end of the month. It's going to be on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn. You guys, Sexy Funny Raw, tell me a little bit about what it is.
Well, it's just basically a show with the two of us where we talk about everything from sex. Yeah, everything
dating.
sex, mishaps, even the
Yeah,
funness, the
first
things
times.
the things that you're even too afraid to ask Google. That's what I always say. With life with a porn perspective.
Yeah, come experience.
Come experience.
I feel like in the 5 years that I've been in the adult industry, I have learned so much about myself and about
Body,
other
other
people,
people,
about sexuality in
fetishes.
general. Yes, so much. Like I thought I was a quote unquote slut coming into the industry, and come to find out, I'm a huge prude.
Really?
So yes, there's so much out there, and what's great is because I am bottom level society at this point. People feel very open about telling you anything and everything because they feel like you aren't going to judge them.
Yes.
Because you're already
Yeah, judge.
You're already down here, so they're like, "Oh, I can tell you anything," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, you
I'm
can."
the troll under the bridge. Come on over here and tell me your secrets.
Yes,
It's so
they
ridiculous
do.
when we're all participating in porn on some
Yeah.
level. Whether you're married or have kids or whatever, we're all participating. You guys go to sexyfunnyraw.com. You guys are premiering the 21st, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Easter.
Oh,
He has risen.
I was gonna say that. You guys, we're also going to take a clip. We're going to take a look. I have to pee so bad, you have no idea. And then we're doing our final round of...
We do have an idea because you're
rapid fire.
Found
Like,
things.
like that.
we're going to take a look at He's Fit with Craig Ramsay and Wesley Woods.
Oh, my
Ah.
God.
It's time for
Fitness.
You're going to spin the wheel, and whatever body part it lands on, you're going to show us an exercise of that body part.
Okay.
You never know what it could be. The options are endless. It's totally up to chance. Touch my peg and give it a good hard tug.
Ooh, okay.
Here we go. Oh my goodness. Yes, what will it be? What are we going to see you work out? Oh, it's cake!
Okay.
You're going to give us a cake workout?
Totally, I can do that for you.
Yeah, what do you got for us?
Ooh, my favorite one is called the Look Back and Wink.
Oh, look back and wait.
Yeah, you know, like when you're at the gym, someone's cruising on you, say, you know, like how you were earlier. I might just look back and
Oh,
wink.
oh,
you know?
look back and wink.
Yeah.
Show us again. Show us
You know,
that
you
move.
walking in the gym and look back and wink.
Oh, wow. And how's this exactly burning calories and working the booty?
Well, you know, it's what you're doing after that's really burning the calories. But there's variations of it. You don't even have to actually wink. You can just look back and wink.
And doing it with a positive attitude is
Sure.
going to work those glutes.
Yes!
Yeah, so I'll try it too, okay? All right,
So I'm cruising you.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay, you
what's
are.
up? Hey.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I sense you behind me. I'm gonna look back and wink.
Yeah.
Is that good?
It'll give you a lot of cardio exercise, you know, once you
Afterwards.
perfect it, yes.
Once you make that.
All right, you guys have to watch the full episode.
Ridiculously
What I love, Craig, is, you know, we've been talking about, like, our
Hangouts.
well, but yes, but also, like, your brand has always been like, oh, we're married. And people are like, oh, do you guys play around and whatever? Like, there's always sexual stuff. This show is very sexual, which is very
yeah.
different for your brand.
Totally.
So how did you deal with that kind of change?
I'm still dealing with it. I wasn't expecting it. In fact, even when I showed up, it was sold to me in a slightly different way. So I think that taking what was a very successful 5-minute short digital series and making it into a whole TV program for Out TV and numerous other outlets, there's so much more content that was in there. So I'm in the first line is, I'm Craig Ramsay, I'm not wearing any underwear. I mean, I always wear underwear. I never wear boxers. I wear briefs, like everything. I wear dance belt for so many years. Like, so Ball Shaft Head on that show for me was very revealing.
Yeah.
Well, and for me to watch it as your friend, it was also like,
My
'cause
audience.
You never, yeah.
To take that to what stereotypically is my Bravo audience and have it mesh, I think it surprised people, but it also allows people to have fun and explore themselves and not take themselves so seriously.
Totally.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
that.
it? What?
Oh.
All right, this is our final rapid fire. Guilty pleasure food. And when we
Ice
went out-
cream. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because we went out, we were at Tom Tom, and you're like, nothing spicy, nothing like with
Can't
taste,
do
nothing with
spicy.
like, there was like nothing you could eat. Guilty pleasure food.
Mama's homemade chicken and dumplings with a gallon of whole milk right beside it.
Now you know the way to his heart. Okay.
Mac and cheese,
Oh,
for sure. You?
everything.
Yeah.
Worst gift you've ever received?
An engagement ring.
Oh my god.
That's big. Yeah, that's.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
I think that's the best response I've ever had.
God. I don't. You have to go. I don't know.
Worst gift, I would say.
Oh, I have one.
Go ahead. Do you do it for me?
No.
No.
Oh no, I have one. I have one.
Okay.
Give it.
I don't think it was the worst gift, but it's a very odd gift. My mother gave me a cooler of meat one year for Christmas.
Are you vegetarian or?
No, I'm
vegan?
not a vegetarian, but
that's just a
just a weird. Yeah, it was like this is your like Merry Christmas. Here's some beef. Like,
She got like her
cuts of beef. They had
beef of the
they have
month program,
they have cows, and they slaughtered a cow, and there's 5 grown children.
That
so
makes it-
they gave all 5 grown children like a cooler of meat.
It's like, remember the cow you used to ride when you were a kid?
Hey,
Here's Bessie.
we
Yeah.
had that. Her name was Steaks.
Yeah.
What was?
Oh
we
my
still
God,
need to hear
that's so
yours.
sad.
Yeah.
I
Part
love
of it.
My
Kids are
worst
laugh.
one
Yep.
was a shopping spree that I didn't know was a shopping spree from a rich gentleman who nothing's ever for free. Let's just
Oh,
put it
yeah,
that way.
of course.
So it was just years, if not a decade, of just hearing from someone for
Oh Lord.
a gift.
Yeah.
Yep.
What would you say to your 16-year-old self? Wesley, you go first.
Fuck it up because you're gonna anyways.
Oh, okay.
Work on your body right now, so in 2 years you can get into porn.
You wish you would have got in sooner. Yeah,
so
same.
much sooner.
I love that they called you MILF from like day one.
Yeah,
right?
well, I started at
Which
30.
is ridiculous.
Hold on, it's a good
Yeah.
story.
That's a
though.
MILF?
Yeah.
Like the actors you're working with are older than you. True story, by the way.
That's true. A lot of my male counterparts that are playing my sons are older than me. It's so
And I love
funny.
he's like, oh, this is our vacation, and what would you like to do today?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a lot of research.
Are we talking about the incest one?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
Just so awesome.
Vacation house.
I
Yeah.
know which
Yeah.
one.
It looked
Yeah.
amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it
It's
was.
good, best rated.
Yeah, highly.
I would say have more confidence in being who you are and bring that to your work. For that whole decade on Broadway, I always delivered what I thought casting and people needed to see and playing a role, and I needed to bring more of me into all that.
I would say from like I've seen pictures and footage, and like you played the role perfectly. It was like I know Craig now, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't really see you in those, except for Frankenfurter. Kurt, just play the picture we have of Craig as Frankenfurter.
As
by the
Rocky,
way.
Rocky.
Rocky. Rocky. Yeah. He's in a boa, and no, I think it's to the right.
Yeah, I didn't get those roles
It's
on
to
Broadway
the right
though.
and up.
And my understudies,
To the right. Right.
I do
There
my
we
career
go.
justice
it's so
better
hot.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do my career better now for bringing who I am.
I love that photo, though.
Thank
I'm
you.
in love with
Yeah.
it.
That's his
Thank
grinder.
you. She's got legs.
Yeah.
Knows
Mystified.
how to use them.
You guys, what a fun episode.
Are we
great.
done?
It went. In fact, we went over. Kurt's like
sad.
he has to use
Oh.
his Harry Potter one to change the channel.
That's
Sorry,
so sad.
Kurt.
I could
Sorry,
hang out with
Kurt.
y'all all night.
Well, you guys, we can hang out with you guys more on Sexy Funny Raw.
Yes.
Yes.
Coming up, and then we're coming to Stretch a Reason to Wine.
Yay.
Where can our listeners and viewers find you?
Please come find me on social media at Craig Ramsay Fit.
Got it.
You can find me on social media, the Wesley Woods, TheWesleyWoods.
And you can find me on Instagram at the Silvia Sage, SilviaSaige, and all other social media platforms under Silvia Sage.
3 eyes.
That's right.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for our guests. Thank you for my guest co-host, Kurt. Kurt, thank you so much. Mama Rose in the chat room.
Craig.
Craig,
I'll take Kurt too.
did I say it again? You did it again.
That's so
do,
weird.
do I look like a Kurt? I guess I
No.
could.
Well, it's because
mean-
Kurt's here, so
Yeah.
it's
But
hard.
that's so weird.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll take it as a compliment.
Yeah, we'll take
Yeah.
it.
But
Brother.
It's so weird. Thank you, Stoli Vodka, Here TV, our loyal listeners. Next week, we celebrate women in TV kicking ass and taking names with veteran actresses Marlene Forte and Alicia Coppola. You guys, they have done literally every show from Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime to ABC, NBC. We're talking about women in film. We're coming at you.
Yes.
Share us, tweet us, DM us. See you next Tuesday. This has been On the Rocks with Alexander, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network. Find me on Facebook on the Rocks Radio Show. Tweet me or Instagram me at On the Rocks On Air. See you next Tuesday.